My goodness, what a glorious day. It is so wonderful out. It's in the mid to upper 70s, I think. Nice little breeze blowing. Flowers blooming. Grasshoppers hopping. And we're out exploring a brand new pit in Unit 24. As you could tell from the beginning, I am the blue dot. And this is the pit. You know, just to look at it, there's a lot of this weed growth that comes up from the bottom and spreads out across the top. Supposedly that goes around to another little bit wider arm, probably about as wide as this. Kind of interesting. Got clear water, got some really unusual, I'm colorblind, but it looks like a definitely different color of water going through right out there. And I have no idea how deep this is, of course. It's not one of those that was ever graphed. It does have a boat ramp. Had some rain and apparently got washed out a little bit there. But I'm looking at this, it looks as though somebody has put a boat in here. There's some tire marks right there, over here. So that's interesting. Let me climb to the top of this mountain here. Oh, that's cool. Little built-in bowl for water. Yeah, that looks okay-ish. I'm looking at this thinking of what lures to use. Man, it is just so cloudy. A cloudy strip of water going right through there. Almost like, you know, it's a creek or something. Obviously a frog would be a good idea. Cast on top of this stuff and bring it out and see what happens. Got some trees, you know, a wacky rigged worm would be alright. Maybe spinnerbait, I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, oh hey, there's a little bitty bass right there. It's kind of curious because normally whenever I come up to a pit, there's lots of little fish around the boat ramp. But there wasn't any. And I'm thinking, that's maybe not a good sign. But now I see more of them. They're coming around. There's a little bass and there's a bluegill. Anyway, I guess we're going to find out what this is all about. Let's go exploring, shall we? All right. All right, so, you know, this part of the water is clear enough. You can definitely see the end of the boat ramp. That's only about 3 feet deep before it drops off. And it drops off pretty deep. Like if your tire went off the edge of that, it may be tough getting it back on there. So it's another one of those enter at your own risk kind of things. But we're going to work our way through the weed growth here. Hopefully not get too hung up on this stuff. Okay. And we'll see what happens. Enough of a breeze, I think I'll put my... Man, look how... I guess I need a... I need to consider what I'm going to use. This is amazing. So the obvious choice would be try a buzzbait or a frog. I'll go with the buzzbait first. So this pit is probably about 3 feet down as well. Maybe even more than that. You can see where the grass is growing up along the bank. That would have been underwater. The bleached limbs of these overhanging tree limbs here, that would indicate we were all underwater. Okay, back this way. Man, I can't believe how cloudy the water is. It's like there's big fish in here stirring it up or something. Big catfish or maybe a beaver. See any beaver huts right offhand, but that doesn't mean anything. I saw that fish come up and get it. It looked like a small fish. And it is. It's a small little bass. But it's a bass with an attitude. Let's see here. One thing about this devil's horse, usually pins them pretty good. But the hooks are usually pretty flimsy. Come on. There we go. Let me stick him again. He liked it. Man, look how dark that is. Usually you get dark bass like that out of really clear water. Thanks, buddy. It's amazing to think how much of this stuff would be underwater if it was back up to its normal bank level. All this stuff would be underwater. That little cove would go back a lot further. Get back here into the main part of this, buzzing as I go. Man, there's just so many weeds, floating vegetation to contend with. Okay, so out of that little cove, this goes on back quite a little ways there. I like that. Head on back and fish this and then go on down that way. I just have to try the devil's horse. The buzz is okay if you can run it past something like this, but throwing in it and bringing it out, you got to be super aggressive to follow it out of there. This, if I put it in a good spot, I can move it around, make it splash a bit, draw their attention, and see if I can get them to come up. It's not what I wanted that. Oh, an alligator gar, or not alligator gar, but a gar. Right there. Look at how pretty that dude is. Wow. Sun went under just as I got him up to the boat. See? This dirt just came, mud just came floating up to the top. Something in here. What do you think? Catfish? Carp? Big grass carp? Well, I had my reservations about trying this pit because it just looked kind of shallow. And guess what? It's kind of shallow. Not that that doesn't mean you can't catch fish in it. Obviously, seen some bluegill, nice bluegill in here, and a really nice gar. Obviously, there's some big, I'll say, grass carp. But it does seem like all that I've fished so far is pretty shallow. This looks like it might be a little bit deeper in here. Well, apparently this pit is just a really shallow pit, so I'm just going to stick with the buzzbait and just move along the shore because it's already 12:15. I started at 10:40. I'd like to see if it's all shallow or there's some deep spots in it. Definitely has good structure, right? It looks great. Okay, well, I'm not going to go through that muck to get back there because I'm sure it's just more shallow pit. Need to get on around the corner, see what the other leg of this looks like. I will have to get through a shallow bit of muck to continue on, but that's all right. I don't know what's around the corner. If I see once I get around the corner that it's more of the same, then I'm not going to worry about it. The idea is exploration. This pit probably is a little bit better in the spring before all this stuff grows up, as far as options to throw. Come on, bass. You have my permission. Please go ahead and jump right on this thing. Okay, so we're coming back out into the murky water. I'm going to throw my lipless crankbait just for a little bit, just to be different. If it's deep enough in here, I can get away with doing that for a while. Find out. Oh man. Yep, grass carp. There's a whole pack of grass carp right there. Like 5 or 6 of them. More. Yep. Mystery solved. Grass carp. Okay, passing by the boat ramp, heading to the left if you were standing on the boat ramp looking out at this pit. So far, very shallow pit with big grass carp. I mean, big grass carp. Oh, great blue heron taking off down there. Cool. Well, this is all about exploring, so I guess I'll continue onward. See if there's any wonderful surprises awaiting us on the other side here. This is a nice clean bottom right here. There's a little bluegill swimming by. Shoot. Dad burn it. What could it have been? Wow, that was cool. So I had some weeds on it. Stocky little guy, beautiful fish. Had some weeds on it, and I thought I need to get that out of the water. So I started moving it real fast, and it jumped all over it. I will go over and fish that. I just want to see if we can get over far enough to look down the way here, see what's around the corner. Looks like that's the end of it. Hey, I know what. I'll check my map app. But it does look like that's the end of it. All right, well, there you have it. The center pit in Unit 24. Lots of structure, and there'll be even more in the water once this pit comes up, if it ever comes back up again. Because it does have like 3 feet to go before it's back to its normal level. But anyway, a shallow pit. That's kind of unusual. There's the one deep area there that I found. Actually, there's a deep area out there that I was able to use crankbait with. When I say out there, I mean out there right off of the boat ramp. That I could use a crankbait and not bring up weeds every time. So a couple areas like that, but the most part, it's like 4 to 5 feet deep, I guess, and shallower. The bank's probably coming out 30 feet off the banks. It's still maybe like, well, 30 may be a stretch, 20 feet off the bank, and it's still like 3 or 4 feet deep, and it goes shallow all the way up. So anyway, if you like that kind of fishing, or if you'd like to come out and do some bow hunting for big carp, there are definitely some big carp in this place. It's stirring up all the water out there. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is one of those pits that if I was just out fishing, I'd have just kept right on going. I'd take a look at that and go, yep, head on out. You can catch fish out of these kind of pits that have weeds all over the place. You can catch really good ones. But that's not really, I don't have the line set up to throw a frog out over this matted stuff. If something was to hit, I'd never get it out. But as shallow as that is, I don't know that there'd be a lot of big fish up in there anyway. So thanks for watching. Thanks for exploring with me. Got some more interesting pits to try next time out. So till then, if you got some young'uns around, take them fishing. Bank fishing from this pit? Not really. But take them someplace. Get them hooked on fishing. All right, till later. Bye.